Hi, my name is Hannah Odeh. This is my corrected submission for our major assignment explaining the example of classical conditioning. I accidentally turned in a observational learning example, and so I just wanted to correct this. So first, classical conditioning is a type of learning where we begin to associate it to either associated and connected stimulus or unconnected together. After this association happens, one stimulus can be taken away and the trigger will still happen. In other words, something that was not meant to originally mean anything to us, our brain can start to have a response to it, connecting it with another experience. So this concept was first introduced by Ian Pavlov in his famous Pavlov dog experiment, where he brought dogs in and he noticed that they would salivate when food was present. And so he'd ring a bell as soon as food was present, and then when he took away that food and he would ring the bell, the dogs would still salivate. So an example of classical conditioning happening in my own life, and I think that a lot of us can relate to this, is my alarm clock in the morning. My alarm has been the same since I was in, I think, 8th grade, since I had my phone. Maybe that was even 6th grade. So I have associated this stimulus to waking up for a very long time. Like most college students, I have many responsibilities. I have a job and I have to go to work in the morning. So waking up can be a very stressful situation when I have to go somewhere where my presence is being needed. In this situation, waking up early and the stress of possibly being late for these things is the unconditioned stimulus. Because it naturally occurs without me having to learn this response. The natural reaction that I experience when I wake up is feeling anxious and also maybe a little bit tired, and this would be the unconditioned response because, again, I did not learn to respond to this. It just happens. Over time, the sound of my alarm clock started to become associated with these mornings. I used the exact same one, so this exact same sound has been associating for a very long time in my brain. Every day that the alarm goes off right before I wake up, I think about everything that I need to do for that day and all of the stress comes down. So when this started to happen repeatedly, when I would hear the alarm, I would connect it with that stress response. Because of these now repeated associations, the alarm sound becomes that unconditioned or that conditioned stimulus, Now when I hear the specific alarm sound, even when it's not early in the day, when I may not have responsibilities going on, my alarm just goes off for whatever reason, I am filled with anxiety immediately. So this would become the conditioned response because I learned this, because it's something that I learned. This example shows how classical conditioning can develop in everyday situations. It doesn't have to be something big and grand. It can be something as little as an alarm clock. A sound that originally had no emotional ties to me now becomes something that gives me a lot of anxiety because my brain has learned that that is the reaction it needs to have. So, yeah, this is a clear example of how classical conditioning becomes a neutral stimulus. The alarm sound became associated with a natural response through repeated experiences. Thank you.